Hey, I'm Victor Lucas. This is Johnny Millennium. You are watching Film Fury, and we have just seen Angel Has Fallen, starring Gerard, Butler, Morgan Freeman, Jada Pinkett's in there, Lance Reddick's in there. What do you think?
And this is in a movie that we've never seen before. We've never seen anything like this. So I want to say that Vic invited me to this movie, and I was like, oh, I'm always happy to see a movie with Vic. But I'm like, wait, this is like the third movie in the series. I haven't even seen the other movies.
Which is surprising because you know, when a series gets to 3, usually it penetrates into most people's kind of awareness.
It did not penetrate you.
It did
not.
Yeah, this is Gerard Butler's Die Hard-like franchise, which kicked off with Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen. I liked Olympus Has Fallen. I thought London Has Fallen was a little super over the top and crazy and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now the premise with Angel Has Fallen is, of course, the president is threatened, because that's the sort of through line and all of this.
So the president's, and he always saves the president?
Yes, yeah. And the first one, it was in the White House, and the second one is in London. And this one, he's on a fishing trip, and he gets a drone attack that comes in, and he tells the president to dive in the water, and then Mike Banning, the character that Gerard Butler plays, gets framed. And
so we're just going straight into spoilers. We're not even.
I mean, it's all in the teaser. It's all the trailer stuff is all about this.
Let's start at the beginning and kind of dissect this movie. We start off with a drone attack. I look at Vic, I'm like, what does every movie have a drone attack now?
It's 2019.
2019.
Every video game, every movie. Yeah, checking my dates here. Yep.
It is the year 2019.
Yeah, it's a drone attack time.
I must like, okay, we're doing the drone attacks. I'm like, oh my. I thought they were missiles at first. I'm like, oh no, they're drones.
It's amazing because we're going full circle by video games being influenced by movies and movies being influenced by video games, and it's like a lot of this, like half of this movie
is a video game.
Well, it could look like the ad for Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Right? Like,
100%, yeah.
It's very tactically shot, very much to kind of get you on the edge of your seat. And there are some really thrilling sequences. It's clear that producers and directors, and Gerard Butler is one of the producers, they've been paying attention to. It's like this action movie arms race that's happening here with the John Wick pictures and Deadpool. Everybody's paying attention to the scenes and the stunts that everybody else is doing. And I think this movie benefits from that.
I think the first beginning act of this movie is very good, where he's kind of framed and he's on the run. I was really in. The soundtrack, the acting in this movie is good. We can't say anything bad about that. And then all of a sudden it becomes a bit more Rambo. He jumps into a forest, and all of a sudden, can I just say, all of a sudden he goes in the forest, they're chasing him, and then all of a sudden he's out of the forest. We don't even find out how he gets out of the forest.
I know.
And then
it goes to night, and he's fine.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to take this point. He goes into the woods to go and find somebody. And this is spoilers. If you don't want to know, please tune out now. Just go to the end and see our score in this movie. That's what you can do. He goes and finds his father,
Nick Nolte.
And this is the stupidest sequence in the entire movie.
You thought that, eh?
I hated it.
Okay, well, it's all a little ridiculous and over the top. That has been the penchant of this. It does sort of devolve from Die Hard, which is where these movies kind of started, into a little The Fugitive. This series is really like an 80s movie series that's not being done in the 80s. And Gerard Butler is in like the Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone type role. They're not as good as those.
It's not even. Do you know what?
But it's pulling from all.
And what the movie lacks is humor.
There's a little bit of humor, not enough.
The only humor that I found was when he finds his father, and his father's been gone for a very long time. He's living in the woods all by himself. He's been there for like 40 years. Just waiting. And he builds all these contraptions to blow things up. Why? We don't know. He's just waiting for something to happen. No, for 40 years. And then his son shows up, and all of a sudden all the guys find him. And they're coming in. And his dad's like activating mines that are exploding. And I'm like, his dad's been waiting for 40 years to do this?
And perfectly positioned so that everybody...
I know!
It is a little bit... No, it's a lot kind of ridiculous.
That's when it took me out of the movie, Vic.
For sure. Absolutely. I would say, though, that Nick Nolte does a pretty good job at playing a totally fucked up guy.
Because he's a totally fucked up guy.
There's a believability to this guy that has gone through hell and come out of it on the other side. Nick Nolte can nail that performance. His hair's everywhere, and his hands are shaking. So that kind of brought me in because of that, because Nolte is a hell of an actor.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, he's a hell of an actor, and now he's using, the physicality of age and all the things that he's got, and I believed that he has gone through hell,
And that was truly believe it. I just thought it was silly.
It was surface, but I also liked the fact that there was a little bit of, the relationship that was built there, and I also like that the movie pays attention to the physical ailments that Mike Banning has, and the PTSD, and
popping the pills.
Yeah, and the mental kind of damage that all of this world saving has done on this character, and his father also suffers from a lot of that stuff. And I like that there was an awareness of that. It wasn't all just super macho time, and it wasn't just man against machine and the military machine. Although when they did, and honestly, I like the idea of the story here, the sort of spy stuff and the sabotage that was going on. But whenever they delved into it with dialogue, it was so dumbed down and so obvious and dumb. Yeah,
it's dumb. Yeah,
but the idea for the movie was pretty cool. It just was really simplified.
As soon as it began, and I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Mr. Banning is sitting with a friend of his. I'm like, this guy's the bad guy. He's the bad guy, or he's going to die.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to die. Well, we know who he is.
Well, they're the famous actors.
I know. And he tried to sabotage his voice. He's like, oh, you need to do this. He's like talking like the emperor. And then they cut to him, and I was like, well, we all knew it was you.
Yeah.
This is no surprise. And then it becomes Call of Duty at the end.
Yeah.
Right to the end. Save the president once again.
But well done. I mean, you got to admit the action pieces are pretty damn thrilling and cool.
Except the end where they have the one-on-one battle that they have in every one of these goddamn movies. The one-on-one battle. It's like a video game boss battle. You don't always get that.
Yeah.
And you get it in video games. You get it in movies. Like it's all green screened. They're fighting on top of a building, and it's just green screened. It was like The Room.
They didn't do a ton of that though, thankfully.
They did a couple of shots,
in London Has Fallen, they used that to the nth degree. It was always with this weird pseudo digital effect. There's a lot of cool practical effects.
Sure there is.
But you're correct though. You can totally check out on this movie because you've seen this kind of movie a million times before. It was competently made though, and I think more grounded than I was expecting. It didn't get as stupid and silly with the action and the stuff that we have seen.
It's like Sean Hobbs.
Yeah. It was. I was still entertained, but yes, it was definitely. There was a lot of by the numbers kind of movie making in here, but you know what it is? I think partially, I really like Gerard Butler. I think he's.
I really do.
Yeah, he's a great action hero, and he's a great support, like a lead guy. And they have interesting supporting people in here. Although I gotta say, like the women in this movie are just completely cast to the side.
There's nothing.
They got nothing to do, and it's like, come on, like look at, like if you want to mix it up. Like that's where you go, is you make the female characters a little bit more interesting, in modern movie making.
What I would have loved is if our main guy, he's there to save the president, and he becomes incapacitated because he did too many of his pills, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
yes.
Which, and then his wife steps in, throws the baby aside, straps on a bazooka, and saves the president, and then that would be fun. But no.
Jamie Lee Curtis like.
I just want. Do you know what it is, Vic?
Yeah.
I just want something
to surprise
new,
you. Yes.
Something new in Hollywood.
You know
please.
what? Jada Pinkett's got a pretty cool role in here. And that would have been a great opportunity to give her to push Mike Banning aside or protect him or what, I don't know. We're not making the movie. I still enjoyed this movie. I like this weird, quirky, out of time, out of context franchise. I like Gerard Butler.
I'm so happy I didn't see all the others.
The first one's all right.
I could believe it. It just goes downhill after that.
Yeah.
What was this movie called again?
Angel Has Fallen.
Angel Has Fallen. My brain cells have fallen. I think that's it.
What was this movie we just saw?
I can't even remember. To be honest with you, I like Sean Hobbs even more.
No, Hobbs and Shaw.
See, I've even forgotten the name of that. This stuff doesn't even matter.
You think I'm stupid? Of course I think you're stupid.
You know what I mean? I like that movie more because at least it was silly. It was self-aware of it being silly.
And it was so over the top.
Yeah, this movie was serious, and at first I was really in, and then I checked out.
Yeah.
As soon as he found his father.
Okay.
His father's blowing people up.
Clearly don't have the emotional attachment to Mike Banning that I have after
have
watching
no
all three of these movies now.
No, I like, this is Spotter. That's all I need. I love that guy from that. That's great.
What are you going to give
Angel
harsh. Has Fallen?
I'm going to be harsh. I'm going to say 6.5. I mean,
okay, I understand that score.
It's got some good acting and stuff. Yeah,
I liked it a little more. 7.5 from me.